and welcome to Storytime at Jackson County Library. I'm Margie, and I hope you're ready for some fun because we've got some very good stories coming your way today. Well, here we are together, together, together. Here we are together, just sitting on the floor. You be my friend, and I'll be your friend. So here we are together, just sitting on the floor. Yeah, we're friends, aren't we? Okay, got your hands ready?
I know this sign.
I know you do, and it's the sign for?
Friend.
Yeah, okay.
I know how to do
Ready?
this because I know how to do it.
Yes, you do know how to do it. Very good. Open, closed, open, closed. Give your hands a clap, clap, clap. Open, closed, open, closed. Place them in your lap, lap, lap. All right. Well, I hope you're ready to sing because we're going to sing this song. It's called 5 Green and Speckled Frogs. It's by Priscilla Burris. I'm glad you do. Okay. You know, I think it's a make-believe song, though. I think it's a make-believe story because these don't look like any kind of real frogs I've ever seen.
No.
They're all dressed up and they have sparkles and it looks like they're going to the beach. Let's sing the song. Here we go. 5 green and speckled frogs sat on a speckled log, eating some most delicious bugs. Yum, 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 yum. Then you can help, can't you? One jumped into the pool where it was nice and cool. Now there are 4 green and speckled frogs. What do they say? What do frogs say? What do you think?
Ribbit,
ribbit, ribbit. Sometimes we might say croak. Yeah, ribbit. Now there are 4, aren't there? 4 green and speckled frogs sat on a speckled log, eating some most delicious bugs. Now they're saying munch, 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 munch. One jumped into the pool where it was nice and cool. Now there are 3 green and speckled frogs. Ribbit, ribbit. 3 green and speckled frogs sat on a speckled log, eating some most delicious bugs. Now they're saying crunch, crunch, crunch. Maybe they're eating beetles. Do you think? Yeah. Okay. One jumped into the pool where it was nice and cool. Now there are 2 green and speckled frogs. He looks like he's doing a belly flop, doesn't he? His tummy's going to flop in first. So we have 2. 2 green and speckled frogs sat on a speckled log, eating some most delicious bugs. Chomp, chomp. One jumped into the pool where it was nice and cool. Now there is 1 green and speckled frog. Ribbit, ribbit. Uh-oh. She doesn't look happy, does she?
No.
No. 1 lonely speckled frog sat on a lonely log, eating some mostly crumpled bugs. Gulp, she's saying. Now what's going to happen? What's she going to do?
Jumped into the pool.
You're right. She jumped into the pool where it was nice and cool. 5 green and speckled frogs having fun. Ribbit, 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 ribbit. Very good. Very good. You can give yourself a hand on that one, can't you? Well, I have a story right now that we call this a flannel board. It's made out of felt, and the story is called Froggy Gets Dressed. So for this one, I'm going to tell you the story. There isn't a book to show you the pictures. Froggy was sound asleep, and then he woke up one morning, and he went flop, 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 flop. He looked out the window, and what did he see? The whole ground was covered with white. It had snowed, and Froggy had always wanted to go out in the snow. He was so excited that it had snow. He called to his mom, and he said, "Mommy, Mommy." And she said, "Yes, Froggy?" And he said, "Mom, it snowed, it snowed. I want to go outside in the snow." Do you know what his mom said?
No.
She said, Froggy, you're a frog. Frogs don't go out in the snow. Frogs sleep all winter long. Now go back to sleep. And he said, but Mom, please, 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 please. Do you ever say that to your mom?
Yes.
Many times?
Yes.
Please, 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 can I go outside? And she said, okay, but you have to get dressed first. And so this is what he did. He put on his yellow socks first. There he is, yellow socks. And then he put on his blue boots, because you have to have boots when you go outside, don't you? Then he put on his scarf, just like this, so that his neck wouldn't get cold. And so that his hat wouldn't get cold, what did he put on it? I mean, his head wouldn't get cold, what did he put on?
His hat.
His hat, and it's a special made hat just like that, just for Froggy, because he has eyes that sort of stick up. And very last, he put on his mittens, didn't he? His nice green mittens. I know. And so he flop, 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 flop out into the snow. But as soon as he got there, he heard his mother calling, and she said, Froggy, Froggy. And he said, yes, Mother. And she said, you forgot to put something on. So he looked down, and he had on his blue boots, and he knew that he had on his yellow socks underneath. Well, he had his scarf on to keep his neck warm. He had his hat on to keep his head warm, and he had on his green mittens. But he realized he'd forgotten to put on his pants. So he flop, 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 flop back into the house. Well, first he took off his mittens because, you know, it's very hard, to get dressed without your mittens. Thanks, Joya, I'll take that.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, so he took off his mittens, and then he took off his boots. He left his hat on, his scarf, and his socks. So here are his pants. Boy, purple pants. Do you have purple pants?
Yep.
Maybe. Okay.
I have purple
Do you?
leggings.
Purple leggings. These almost look like leggings, don't they? He
have
put on,
purple leggings.
yeah. He put on his purple pants, and then he pulled on his boots again. Zoop, zoop. Here they are. Whoops, that hat just wants to fall off his head, doesn't it? But he's going to put it right back on again. And then, of course, he put on...
His eye.
It's over his eye, oh no. He has to see, doesn't he?
Yep.
He put his gloves back on, and he flop, 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 flop outside again. But no sooner had he gotten outside, and he heard his mother calling. What did she say? Froggy, Froggy. You forgot to put something on. And he looked down. He had on his boots. He knew he had on his socks. Now he had on his pants and his scarf, his hat, and even his mittens. But what was missing? Oh,
His shirt.
his shirt and his coat. So
and his mitts and his warmies.
So he flop, flop, flop right back into the house again. Now he had to take his mittens off again because it's very hard to take anything off with your mittens on. So he took them off. He had to, well, no, he didn't have to take off his boots, did he? He grabbed his shirt, but that scarf was so tight. He had to take that off for a minute. And then he put on his shirt.
Where's his jammies?
And, just a minute, and he put on his coat. Then he put the scarf on over that. How could he breathe? But I guess he could. Then the mittens went on his hands one more time. There they are. Now, he thought, I am ready to go play in the snow. So he flop, 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 flop outside. And no sooner had he gotten outside, and what did he hear? What did his mother say?
Froggy.
Froggy, can you help? Froggy. Yes, Mother, he said. She said, Froggy, you forgot something else. I know I have on my boots and my socks are underneath. Then I have my pants. I have my mittens on, my scarf, my jacket, my shirt, my hat. What could it be? He kind of looked inside of his shirt and he got a little bit embarrassed because you know what he forgot to put on? His underwear. Oh my goodness. So he flop, 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 flop right back in the house.
Yes, take everything everything off.
Now he has to take everything off. First, he took off his mittens because it's very hard to put anything on or off with mittens on. So there they are. Then he took off that hat because his head was getting hot. He took off his scarf. His neck was hot. Then he took off his jacket. And he took off, oops, come on, jacket. Then he took off his shirt, his boots. You don't need boots on if you're trying to get your underwear on. He took off his socks. He took off his pants. And he put on his long underwear. But by this time he was so exhausted, so very, very tired, that he just lay down in his bed and he went to sleep for the rest of the winter.
He didn't even go outside.
He didn't even go outside, and that's the end. Isn't that a good one? Do you think that's a true story or a make-believe?
Make-believe.
I think so too. I'm going to take this one off here. Yeah, if you can hand me those, I would sure appreciate it. Thanks, Joya, dear. Very much. All right. Well, I do have a story that's, well, I don't know if it's true or if it's make-believe. But did you know that some frogs live in what's called a bog?
Yep,
A bog? Yeah.
Is it kind of like a swamp? No, he has a hat on.
Yeah, this one does have a hat on. So yeah, it's probably make-believe a little bit, isn't it? Yeah. It's by Karma Wilson.
What is a
It's
bog?
called a
It's
bog.
It's sort of like a swamp.
It's kind of like a swamp. Exactly. It's called a frog in a bog. Here it is. Here it is. Now, it's not one that we're going to sing. A frog in the bog. And it is, as you pointed out, it's kind of make-believe because he has on a hat, doesn't he? Yeah.
And look, someone lives in the tree and he's
This
getting
is very funny. If you ever get a chance to check out this book, it's a tree, but do you know what it says? It says Mac Froggies. Instead of McDonald's, it's Mac Froggies. I wonder what they serve. It's a little restaurant. Isn't that just silly? Yeah.
Yeah, but definitely make-believe.
Yeah, it's a make-believe one. Okay.
And bugs don't travel.
This says Beetle Boats for Hire. It kind of looks like a canoe.
I can't see.
It kind of, can you move so you can see? Yeah. It
That
kind of
looks
looks
like
like
a
a canoe. I think you're right. Maybe it is a leaf. Okay, here we go. There's a frog. Do you see it? On a log in the middle of a bog. A small green frog on a half-sunk log in the middle of a bog. Half-sunk, that means it's kind of halfway up and halfway down, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stuck.
Stuck. Kind of stuck, yeah.
Stuck in the muck.
He flicks one tick as it creeps up on a stick. Now you remember that real frogs have long, sticky tongues, don't they? So he flicked out his tongue and he caught that tick. Click. Just like that, didn't he? One tick in the belly of a small green frog on a half-sunk log in the middle of a bog. Yeah, there it is. So what does he have in his tummy?
A tick.
A tick. One tick. That's like a little tiny bug, isn't it?
Yep, a tick.
Yeah, a tick. Sometimes dogs get ticks, don't they?
My dog gets it.
Your
I
dogs
got only one tick.
Yeah, sometimes that happens. Sometimes cats get them too. And the frog grows a little bit bigger because it has something in its tummy now.
Yep.
Doesn't it? Yeah. He sees two fleas as they leap through the reeds. That's what the grass is called
Can I
sometimes
see
in
the
a bog.
fleas?
There they are, one,
maybe
two.
the log is an alligator.
We'll have to
Yeah,
read to the end and see.
Oh yeah.
We'll have to
look at
read to the
that.
end.
The
Okay, don't
log-
tell. Don't tell. Okay, thank you. So now he has one tick and two fleas in the belly of a frog on a half-sunk log in the middle of the bog. And the